Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I have done something intelligent for once in my life, and I have made the decision to review a Toyota Corolla Hybrid, and I'm doing a fuel economy test on it now. The Corolla Hybrid is rated at 53 miles per gallon in the city and 52 on the highway. So we are doing a pure highway drive this evening. As I typically do with these drives, I have the vehicle's dynamic radar cruise control set to 70, so we will attempt to maintain that speed. Sometimes you can't always maintain it perfectly. Everything is just in the normal drive mode. I'm not using any eco mode or anything else. I'm trying to get a real world figure out of it. 52, as I said, maybe is the highway rating. It already thinks it's averaging 60 miles to the gallon. I've only covered 4.9 miles. So we're gonna go on through the night. I'm gonna do about a 130-mile loop, end up at the same gas station I started at, fill it back up and do some math. So I will update you very shortly with the progress. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have covered just about 60 miles, 59.6 miles right this moment. The car indicates that we are averaging 57.8 miles per gallon, which is excellent. The loop that I do is somewhat uphill for the first half of it, and then somewhat downhill for the second half because we end up back where we started. So I expect that, 58.1, I expect that number to increase, barring some strange unforeseen events that could happen, but hopefully won't, over the next hour and 15 minutes or so. So I am going to continue forward, and I will update you in just a moment. All right, so we hit a little slowdown here, but it's not that big of a deal. One question that I might be able to answer for you that you might be wondering right now is, how come hybrids get better mileage in the city than on the highway? And the answer to that question, and of course traffic is not cooperating with me to demonstrate the answer, but the answer is that the more the hybrid can use its electric motor and its battery power as opposed to using its gasoline engine, the less fuel it's going to burn, and it has more opportunities to do that when you're driving around town in stop and go traffic as opposed to driving on the highway at a sustained speed. The reason for that is when you're in stop and go traffic, when you're slowing down, the gasoline engine can shut itself off. You have regenerative braking system on these hybrids, which gives power back to the battery from the car's decrease in kinetic motion. And then that recaptured energy is then used to propel the car forward when you start off from a dead stop vis-a-vis the battery and the electric motor. So like right now, the engine's turning 1,000 RPM, and I've got to change lanes and make a freeway interchange. But this is actually a good example. So as you can see, the engine's actually now shut itself off. Zero input from the gasoline engine. The battery is kind of handling actually nothing because I have my foot off of the gas. The regenerative braking is putting energy back into the battery, and now I have to accelerate, so I put my foot on the gas and the whole works is going. But anyway, and even though it's not really a large difference, but this car is rated 1 mile per gallon higher in the city, and that is why hybrids in general get better mileage in the city than they do on the highway. But anyway, we're going to keep going, and I will update you on the mileage on this particular drive soon. All right, we are going to bring this baby home in just a moment. We've traveled 115 miles, and the car is alleging that it has averaged 63 miles per gallon, which is a lot since it's only rated 52 on the highway. We'll see how accurate that actually is. It thinks it's burned not quite an eighth of a tank, and it's only like a 13.2 gallon fuel tank on this car. So whatever it is, this is a very fuel efficient automobile. So I'm going to take it to the gas station and top it off, and we'll do some math. Be back in a moment. Okay, so this is a slightly better example of what I was talking about earlier. So we are stuck in some traffic. Apparently there was an accident, according to my Apple CarPlay. So we're moving at very low speeds, stop and go, stop and go. And the engine is doing nothing because if I scroll over some screens, I got battery power, and the battery is what's moving the car forward when it needs to move forward. So, again, this is why hybrids can get better mileage in the city than they do on the highway. So anyway, I'm going to sit here until we get past this, and then I'm going to fill this car up, and then we're going to see, what does it think it's doing now? 63.2. We'll see what it's actually doing. But see, in this car, being stuck in this traffic doesn't hurt me. It actually kind of helps a little bit, even though we're not actually going to travel that much distance here. But I'm not just sitting here burning gas when I'm idling. So this isn't going to hurt the result. So we will see what the result is very shortly. All right, we might have done pretty well tonight. So we traveled 132 total miles, and the car thinks it averaged 62.9 miles per gallon, and it might be right because it only took 2.099 gallons of fuel, which is crazy talk. 132 divided by 2.099. Boom! Wow! 62.88. It's right on target. I've never had a car come out that close. It says it averaged 62.9, and the math indicates, let me hit equals here, 62.88. That is incredible. That is fantastic. That really makes me happy. First of all, it cost me less money, and second of all, 10 miles per gallon over the EPA highway estimate out of the little Corolla Hybrid. What a car. Man, we should all be driving these things. All right, well, it's getting on for midnight, so I'm going to go home and go to bed. But y'all have a good night, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.